So before we get into story time, or I should say lesson time, this is not all about me. This is not all about my previous relationship. This is a compilation of stories that I've heard over the last year and a half of so many women going through very similar things. And I will say that given the line of work that I was in and very similar lines of work, whether it's actual modeling or camming or film or just OF or whatever it is, or even some of them are just influencers, just regular influencers. It is a certain type of man that tends to initially be gravitate towards a woman that has a lot of attention, a lot of male attention, a lot of sexual attention, very beautiful, making lots of money online, right? So whether it's explicit or not explicit, it does kind of attract a certain demographic. So I will say there's going to be a sample bias here. However, these stories kind of run the gamut. So there's everything from, like I said, from a regular influencer all the way to explicit content, right? But these are many stories. I'm going to kind of jumble them all up so it kind of keeps everyone's privacy. But again, this is just to showcase what to look out for so you don't fall into this trap. And it's also just expose sneaky fuckers because again, these are not men. And for some reason, everyone's blaming feminism. You at the end of the day are responsible for your own behavior. You can't push that off onto culture or other people or another sex. That is nonsense, especially if you're a man, because aren't you supposed to be the leader? Sure sounds like following if your actions are based off of someone else's XYZ. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're going to start at the beginning, which is, and I will actually say feminism does play a role in this, into brainwashing so many generations that women's sexual behavior should be identical to males. Now, there is a small percentage of women where they do behave, and it's authentic, that they do behave and have desires more similar to men, but it's only about 5%. For the other 95%, it is very much the stereotypical advice that you have heard, which is they once they're intimate with someone, they do bond with that person, they have expectations, they're less promiscuous, they assign more meaning to sex emotionally than men. It's a bigger deal to women as a whole, right? So the narrative is that you can have all of this unattached sex, consequence-free, don't be clingy, don't be needy, don't be such a girl. So that left a lot of women wanting to be the cool girl, wanting to be accepted, wanting to not rock the boat, not be a problem, right? Which goes along with our agreeable nature. So it's kind of the perfect storm, essentially. So you have these women that are agreeing to be in casual relationships, situationships, to the point where you'll even have the guy admitting that he is with other women physically. And it goes against every fiber in her being, but she's like, okay, cool. We can keep it casual. You can be with as many people as you want. I'm not really looking for anything serious, right? Red flag number one. Especially if he's of a certain age. So certain fuckery is expected in the early years, right? 18, 19, maybe a little bit through college. But after that, if a man is insisting on keeping things casual, that he can be seeing multiple women at the same time, that he's not going to be ready for anything that you deserve for years, run. You deserve better than that. There are plenty of men that are able to put their desires, contain their desires, right? It doesn't go away. Of course, they're not blind. They're living, they're breathing, they see beautiful things. That is very different than saying, I have to have that. I have to have that. I have to have that. Because it is so shallow and spread so wide instead of like wanting to go deep with one person. And a commonality with a lot of these women, including myself, was, love is abundant and I'm not possessive and I'm not jealous. I'm a cool girl, right? Red flag number one, that is immature masculine. That is, I need novelty and nuance and lack of commitment. So if he is not willing to be monogamous relatively soon, I would say by like date 5, by 5 dates in, like real dates, and you're going to Hobby Lobby, right? You're going to the grocery store. You're not just like coming over late at night. You're starting to get more intimate and vulnerable. That's when you want to start having that talk, and have the talk. Because if that scares him off, good. You want to be filtering. So none of this like, am I going to scare him away? That's the whole point of dating. It's to be yourself. It's to say the crazy, not crazy. I'm even doing it now. It's not crazy. Say the things that you want out of the future. The whole point of dating is to find your person that you are going to spend your forever with. So you want to be like, do you want kids? Do you want to get married? Where do you see yourself living? What are your values? What are your principles? Like, what role do you play within your community and your friend circle? Like, all of these like really deep questions to find out, is this the person I want to build a life with? And if not, what's the point of dating, right? You don't need to be wasting your time and your money and your energy on someone that's just going to be fleeting, right? Or transient. So lesson number 1, monogamy. It's not outdated. It's not boomer. We've been doing it for a very long time for a reason. It's not to say immediately date one, you need to be saying that he's unfollowing people and only with you. That's a little bit much. That's a lot a bit much. But it is to say you will know when the time is right to have the conversation of expecting you to be the only one that he's with, and for him to take it seriously and to be doing actions that support that. And it's certainly not a year in, not 6 months in. I would say like 3 months max. 3 months max. If he's still not monogamous after 3 months, you gotta go, girl. Even that's a long time.